Okay, hello guys. I'm here, Lawa, with you again in a new podcast with the topic "Do School Rules Really Build Discipline?" Before that, I'm a little bit more lonely today because there are no participants for now. Join the live session, so everyone will be watching the recording. So enjoy the podcast this time. So I will make sure that you will have a very new knowledge and you have a more open-minded on this topic. If you're interested, I'm very thank you. I'm Lava, bringing to you this podcast where thoughts shape the future. Without wasting time, let's get into the topic. So my first question, again with the question, are school rules, as I said, do they really build discipline, or they just scared of getting caught? Really? So I'm also want to break this into some parts so that it is more structured and we more understand uh, about this topic so that we can make a really good decision, or we really understand this topic. And let's go to the first point, which is mindset. As we hear rules here and there, as a parent, as a student, or as a anyone, okay, anyone, this postcard for you, this podcast is actually very good to everyone, even though you are a student, but or you are a parent, so that you get to know school rules, what school rules are, and what school rules have changed from past to now. There are many school rules that have actually changed in the past few years. So when we talk about mindset, when we talk about school rules, they actually, some people are scared of getting caught because school rules, if you don't follow it, of course we are going to get a punishment or something else. And we also want to talk about, do rules actually shape future? Even as a government worker, in Malaysia we call them as a pejabat awam, they have many rules to follow. So everyone basically has a rule in our life. So what are the impact to life after school? We are also going to discuss about this, and we are also going to look who we become as adults after school, after we go through school, with the rules, with the education system, and what they actually impact our life afterwards. So why do school rules actually exist? Have you ever thought about that? So in the in the objective of rules, even the government has said that it builds safetyness, it is for safety. And actually this is true, because some rules are actually very good and should be followed, because they are actually for our own safety, for our own safety, for the students. Some, they want the school students, or they want the school to be very ordered, so that it is more easy and more, how is it, the school is more ordered. As I say, it's more ordered and more systematic. The system is, it's easier for teachers and school to handle the students. And it, of course, it also builds discipline, as said, but we will also discover, is it really true that it builds discipline? And we also want to make sure that we students have equality. As we say equality, we have the equal rights for every student. We don't have the classification that this student is different, that student is different. We don't want to do that. So what are the good sides of school rules actually? And I have just have a participant. Hello, Lomingchi. I have already started the recording already, so you just hear lah. Because let me, since our first participant have joined the live session, I will like to say something. School rules actually build disciplines, but somehow they never discipline the homework, don't they, Mingchi? Because it always come back. The the discipline on us doesn't apply to the homework that teachers give, and it always comes back. And have you ever imagined that all the teachers, all the discipline teachers, even the principal, they are able to see a student without they tucking in their shirt, but they cannot even identify when the students are cheating in the exam. Is this what, like, if you see logically, this is real, guys. they actually sees students are not wearing their ties, not actually tucking their shirt, as I said, and they can see it from very far away. But when students are cheating during the exam, they actually don't get it. They actually don't call the students sometimes, most of the times. So looking at the good side of rules. So for the live participants that have just joined, I was going to talk about good sides of school rules to students, and also when we become big. So it actually builds time management. So how do they build time management? They actually set a rule for us to come early to school so that we can manage more time. But sometimes actually traffics block us, and also some school teachers come late because of that, things that we cannot actually neglect of, right? And then they also, good side of, other good sides of rules, school rules, is actually they build respect. People respect us when we are more disciplined, more follow the rules, because school rules actually bring many good things. So yeah, and then the for the third good side, I will focus on the responsibility. As we follow school rules, as we follow more school rules, we actually think that we actually build responsibility. Actually they do, but we will also go to the bad side, that we will all actually start to think, is it school rules good thing or a bad thing? So I want to talk about the bad side also, so that we actually get a clear clarification about this topic. So this is where actually it gets spicy. Do you know why? Actually, most of the school rules, there are many school rules until they bring us stress. About this stress also, it's a very hot topic. Actually, I can make it another podcast for only for stress, because it's actually a very wide topic for us to talk about stress. So many school rules actually brings stress, not just for students, actually for also teachers, because they have to handle the school rules. They have to make sure that this school rule is applied to students, so that it can be get on. And for the next bad side, I also want to emphasize the punishment that we get without explanation. Some school rules, they are there to build responsibility, respect, and time management. But when we don't follow it more frequently, or students are just getting punished for without just explanation, they just say, oh, you don't follow this school rule, so we have to punish you. And but they don't say, oh, we guys punish you because that this, they don't say the good side. That's why students start to think about, oh no, I'm not going to follow this. What does this bring to me? They just going to punish me again and again, and this bring back to stress again. So we getting punished, and we are getting more stress on that. Looking at the third point of bad side of this school rules, this might be rude, but actually school rules don't make any sense. Do you know why school rules actually don't make any sense? Because of course, some school rules are actually very systematic that we actually agree to follow. But some school rules don't even make sense. Like in I don't want to say in my school, because it will be offended if there is someone from my school watching it. So some school actually, when during their in Malay it's called Perimpunan Pagi. So when they're doing this perimpunan pagi, they actually want to separate girls and boys. Before this, they actually didn't apply this. This not even in the peruntukan of kerajaan in Malaysia to actually separate the students from male in gender. So this is actually sexism. As we're going to see about gender, they actually break apart about gender, but we actually, it actually has good sides and bad side. It also has the pros and cons. Every single thing has its pros and cons. That's why you have to join my podcast after this, or after watching this, because we actually discuss about, are these things actually bring a good thing or a bad thing, or is it just our mind just thinking that, oh, this is a bad, this is a good thing. That's why I also emphasize the mindset in as the first point in this podcast, because mindsets changes everything, guys. As the first episode in my podcast, I actually talked about Also awareness. So awareness and mindsets are actually the basic same things. So um that's why I'm saying, so mindset matters everything, even the good side or the bad sides, it's all the same. So for the participant that has put call my name in the chat, you can just straight away ask the question in the chat so that I can just explain it to you. So go on, Lo Mingchi. So before that, they actually scold us for being late. Just now I got talked about time management, right? They always said, they always scold us, punish us for being late to schools. But have you ever thought of where the school teachers can always be late to class? They always be late, and then when they give uh the the reason for they getting late, we should accept it. But when we go to late, when we say it's traffic problem, it's raining, they always like look down on us when we give these reasons. So before I continue, or before I end this podcast, or before you guys stop watching this podcast, I open to anyone in the comment looking for life for me to answer some question asked, or we can more discuss. So let us rest for a couple of seconds until I read the questions asked in the chat box. You guys relax first, because these thoughts shape the future, remember. Okay, so a person in the chat said, I think they should make a bigger window for late time. So usually it is like 5 minutes after the 7:30, but I think it should be 7:45. So this person in the chat is also emphasizing the time management I was talking about, and also the problem that I talked about being late to school. Actually, we can extend it to 7:45, everyone. But you also have to think about parents. Parents, actually, most of the parents are going to work, right? They also have to be uh very early to go to the work. They cannot be late at work. So even if we can extend the time to 7:45, we also have to think about the parents also. So that's why the governments are actually also looking towards in every direction so that they can be done smoothly. So 7:30 doesn't feel like a problem to me. It may be make problem to you guys, because some students are different, right? They are not early birds, they cannot wake up early. So yeah, you don't need to make me anonymous if you want. Oh, sorry. So yeah, it's okay. So I won't do that again, sorry. And so, as we guys are talking about school rules, actually everyone in our lives also have rules, right? As I said in the first, everyone, not just school rules, we have rules at work, we have rules at home. So upon following those rules, it is not wrong, but we have to know, is it done by good? But we also can change the rules some a bit. We can discuss with our teachers. As a prefect of me, I also want to share some stories about me. I'm a prefect in my school, and I've been prefect for at least like 3 years. And then I actually realized that actually rules actually make people better. As we get older, we actually realize that discipline is really important for our life, so that we don't just get respect, or we don't just make responsibly important, but we have a clear mind to make the right decision when things goes wrong. So I don't think that rules are actually bad. They actually build discipline when they are done in the correct way, when we have the correct mindset to follow the rules, for always asking why. And then this why we always ask to have to ask in our life, because when we ask the question why, you actually realize, why should I follow these school rules, why should I follow that, why should I do this and do that. And this can make our life more easier and more oriented, and we can actually enjoy our life. So there's nothing more to discuss about the school rules building discipline, because I think that you guys already have a clear mind after my podcast. So that I am actually going to end my podcast now. But before that, if you a live participant, if you guys have question, you can go. Actually, there's only one participant this time, but that's okay. And I will meet so fast today. Yeah, because I don't have anything to talk already, and the viewers in the recording, maybe they feel very bored because it's already 18 minutes. And you know, I think there's no one will watch a podcast that long, especially when I'm talking to myself only. So Minchi, you can stay. So before I end my podcast, thank you very much for you guys watching this podcast this time. I hope for the next coming Saturdays, I will bring a better topic to discuss. But sadly, for the coming Saturday, I won't doing any podcast because I will be at Penang that time. So I'm unable to do the podcast next week. But I will make sure for the next Saturday, I will bring a very good topic to you guys. I will make the podcast more interesting, more funny, and more where thoughts shape the future. This is Lawa resigning from the podcast. Thank you very much, guys.